feeling low. Life's a grind, man, it was moving slow. Tired of the struggles, tired of the fight. They turned to the meat and it felt so right. With steaks on their plates and the grill fired up, they found a new rhythm and filled their cup. Joy started flowing, laughter's out of sight. Now they're living loud, embracing the night. Yeah, they went full carnivore and the joy has begun. Sickness and gloom like shadows they run. With every bite taken, they're feeling so great. Sharing their message, they just can't wait. So tune in, my friend, each Wednesday night. Join Real Talk with Brian and Johnny. What a sight. Oh, what a sight.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We are live, and Johnny is back this week. How you doing,
Hi.
Johnny?
I'm doing good, Brian. Hope you are.
Yep, I'm doing good. Let's say hi to some people in the chat. Got Rick here, of course, from Miami. Paul asking, are they still in business? I'm not sure. Are we asking if Miami's still in business? Are we asking if Johnny and I are in business? I don't know. But hello, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Rick got back from a pressure cleaning job. Jerry is here. Hello. Just finished lunch and going back to work. All right. Steadfast. Donna Ray, Bacon Runner. Okay, I think that's everybody so far. So as you join here this evening, don't forget to hit the like button and share this with your friends. And say hi in the chat. All right.
Yeah.
So our topic tonight we picked is diet, exercise, and stress management. And Johnny, I know that you have some stuff that you want to talk about along with this. I think a lot of it has to do with stress and stress management. But why don't you get us started here and let us know how things are going?
Well, Brian, I appreciate it. And guys, if you'll bear with me for a few minutes, this is going to get kind of long-winded. But 2026, I was so optimistic about 2026. You know, initially I'd planned on maybe doing the senior games this year, trying to do the 50-meter dash, the 100-meter dash. I was working on that. That was going great. Everything was fine. My wife and I are going to put our house on the market, and we're moving to the Aiken, South Carolina, Augusta, Georgia area. We found a house down there that we really like, and it's a brand new house that hasn't been built yet. We're getting ready to start building it probably in about 2 months. My brother came over to the neighborhood. It's a brand new subdivision that's being built. My brother found one of the spec houses that was built, and he fell in love with it. He sold his house, bought it, moved into that. And things were going great. I had a job lined up in that area. At least I thought I did. I was contacted by a company that does the same type of work that I do now. They take people from the hospital to the nursing home or from the hospital back home that are on a stretcher. That's what I do now. They wanted me to be the director or the area manager, if you will. And the salary was going to be great. We were getting our house ready to put on the market. Things were going too good. I mean, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, and of course it did. The company that I was supposed to go to work for just ghosted me. We're making plans to meet. We had talked salary, we talked job, and they said, they'd be in touch. But 3 weeks went by, nothing. I called, I texted, I emailed, I did everything, and they absolutely have ghosted me. And I'm not certain what caused that. I thought we were on a trajectory to go ahead and get me down there and get me started in that position. So now that throws a huge monkey wrench. I mean, we're moving 200 miles away from where we live right now. So if I move down there and we get ready to take out a mortgage on a house, I got to have a job. So the one company down there that does the same type of work I do, like I say, is kind of, I don't know, kick me to the curb. I can't get them to, I've texted, called, left voicemails, emails. And I don't know if the person I was dealing with is no longer with the company or whatever, or they've decided to go a different direction. Would have been nice to somebody would have let me know something, but that, that's okay. That's on them. So now here we are barreling, I've been replacing the siding on my house. We had some siding, vinyl siding that's been broken. I replaced that, replaced some of the faucets in the house. My wife's been working like crazy, cleaning up, packing up. We've rented 2 storage buildings down in Aiken to put our stuff down there. And things are, chugging right along, and I still don't have a job. So I'm really wanting to get out of the transportation part of healthcare. I love working in healthcare. I'm going to continue to do that. I wish people weren't so sick. I wish people would follow the carnivore diet and exercise and things like that. But the hard, cold truth is millions of Americans are sick and getting sicker. So we need good people in healthcare, right? So I was wanting to get out of the back of a moving ambulance and go to work in the hospital. Well, I went and decided to get my CNA, a nurse assistant license in North Carolina. And I thought I could find me a job within the hospital and maybe go and get my LPN, my licensed practical nurse license. So I found out in North Carolina, if you're a paramedic, that you can just challenge the test. You don't have to take a class. So I took the written exam, passed it, no problem. It's really kind of elementary. It's just wiping noses and wiping butts and taking care of people who are bedbound, basically. Then I did the practical test, the skills test, passed it. Well, the first time I went to take it, I drove all the way to Greensboro, North Carolina, got there at 7 o'clock in the morning, ready to take it. And my driver's license and my social security card both say John George Wood III. My registration on the computer said John George Wood. They wouldn't let me take the test because it didn't have the third on there. They told me to call this number. I called the number. The call center was in India. The guy couldn't understand what I was saying. Apparently in India, they don't do the whole junior, third, fourth thing with, the sons and all that stuff. So it took me about 3 weeks to get that straightened out. Finally go back to Greensboro, take the test, pass it. Whew, I have my North Carolina CNA license. Still don't have a job in South Carolina lined up. But yeah, we're still making progress towards selling the house and moving down there. So I was going to apply for reciprocity. So, if you get certified in one state, usually you can get reciprocity for a neighboring state. So I went on the South Carolina website to apply for reciprocity. They don't accept the fact that I didn't go to school for a CNA. That they're one of the states that doesn't allow that. So now I have to go and take a 4-week class, pay $1,000, and go take a 4-week class to show 100 hours of training for a class that I've already passed the final exam for. So I just signed up for that at the $1,000. 3 weeks ago, we had a warm day come through and my air conditioning in my house went out. So we had the tech guy come look at the air conditioning. It was the compressor was gone and the condenser in the attic was gone. But the good news is my warranty still had 2 days left. Whew, thank God, 2 days left on the warranty. However, the warranty didn't cover labor. So even with the warranty covering the parts, the labor and the new type of Freon they have to put in there was $3,400. So I just spent $3,400 getting the air conditioner fixed. Then, still trying to get a job down in Aiken. I have a family member, a 75-year-old lady in the family, a really, really close person to me, and she fell backwards off a porch and hit her head and had a really, really, really bad head injury. And she's down in the Augusta area. So I went down there and spent a couple of days down there with family, trying to make sure everything was okay. Good news is she's in rehab. She's still pretty sick, but she's in rehab, and hopefully we'll, prayers up that she'll make a full recovery. It's like everything that has gone wrong. And I haven't done much exercise because we had, if you guys remember, not too long ago, we had a big ice storm followed by a big snowstorm. We have one day where it's 80 degrees and I'm at work, and the next day it'd be 35 degrees. Like this morning, I'd planned on doing some sprints this morning, but when I woke up, it was 43 degrees. We didn't turn the heat on in the house because we had the air conditioning on the other day. So it was 56 degrees in the house this morning, freezing. And it just seems like things were on such the perfect trajectory. And now, if I don't find a job in Aiken or Augusta, and I'm starting to believe, because I've applied for a lot of jobs in different things, and even up here with my CNA, I've applied for jobs at the hospital that I go in every day. And I'm just wondering if they see that I'm 59 years old and kind of look past me. You don't want to think that you're being discriminated against, but if you had 2 openings and you had 4 applications, and some of them were in their 20s, some in their 30s, and this other guy here is almost 60 years old, I don't know that he would be my first pick either. Anyway, all that to say that I have struggled. As you guys know, this year has just been tough diet-wise. I don't smoke. I don't drink alcohol. I don't gamble. I don't chase loose women. I eat pastries. I make terrible decisions when it comes to eating. That's my response to stress, and this has been very, very stressful. But hope springs eternal. Going to get it all turned around. I was telling Brian just before we went on, when I go do this class that I got. It starts April and goes through May. It's just 4 weeks, but it's full time, so I will miss some work. Anyway, I have to have a physical to take this class. Well, I had my blood pressure taken the other day, and it was sky high, back where it was 3 years ago, and no one to blame but myself. And my AFib is still there, obviously, and now I'm getting to where I'm short of breath. If I walk up a hill or whatever, I'm a little short of breath. So now I'm kind of in a position where I have to turn it around. I have to stick to my eating plan. I've got to try to get better rest. I've got to reduce stress, and exercise can be a great stress reducer. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I apologize for the long-winded thing. I was telling Brian, I kind of feel like Clark Griswold. It seems like every single thing that can go wrong here lately has gone wrong, but we're going to get turned around. I just ask for you guys for your prayers and your positive thoughts. Hopefully this will be the start of getting everything turned around. I was perfect yesterday, 0 carbs yesterday, perfect today, 0 carbs today. I didn't get out and do much exercise, but I did pressure wash the house. I did a bunch of work in the yard, and I've got like 7,000 steps in. So pretty active day to day once the weather warmed up, and I've been rock solid perfect yesterday and today. Hopefully that's the catapult to the rest of the year. Sorry about that, Brian. I didn't mean to be that long-winded.
No, that's good. It's good for us to hear everything. I mean, when we were talking before we started, we were talking about the stress thing and talking about your blood pressure. That stress has a lot to do with high blood pressure, and unfortunately for you, also when you get stressed, that's when you tend to eat things that you shouldn't eat. So you add the 2 things together, and that really makes a difference. So hopefully you can get back on track, and we can all support you here. Myself, everyone else that's watching in the chat and so forth, we can support you, help you get back on track. Thanks.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So there's been a few people that have popped in, and I said hi. I'll try and go back here. Let's see. We've got Bride's Biscuits here. So hello, good evening.
Hey, Bride's Biscuit.
Bill is here.
I'm out of Bill.
Aqua Hero is here, and he noticed exactly what you were talking about. You've gained a little bit of weight. You can tell in your face a little bit.
Yeah.
The stress, and it's the other thing. Stress, probably not sleeping well. I know you went through a lot with your aunt here in the last week as well. All those things add up. Even if you're trying to do the right thing, eat healthy and so forth, if you got all those things going on, it's going to derail your success. So we got to find a good way to get rid of some of that stress, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who else. I think I saw someone else. Yeah, Linda's here.
Hey, Linda.
To see. All right. Okay, so this is probably a good time to talk about the topic and talk about, you're falling right into the trap, and how can we fix it with carnivore? So let me ask you a couple questions here. First of all, so I know you said that you haven't really been able to get into exercising much lately, and for you, that's an interesting thing because of the AFib. You feel like without the exercise, you're starting to get more out of breath. But the question I have is, with all the stress and everything you've had, is it too much to try and do everything right at this point? And should you concentrate more on one thing, like just eating clean for a couple of weeks before you really go back to trying to do exercise and get more into that rhythm again, right? Continuous rhythm with eating, and just concentrate like one thing at a time and slowly add things back up. What do you think on that?
Yeah,
What
I
your
think
thoughts?
you're right. I thought about that today. I started to get up this morning and go to the gym. It was freezing outside. It was freezing in here because we didn't turn the heat on because I didn't realize it was going to get that cold. So I just came downstairs. I'm not sleeping good. I woke up like 2:30 in the morning, couldn't go back to sleep. So I came downstairs, got on the couch, got under a blanket and turned the fireplace on. Started to go to the gym, but then I thought about it. I said, I got so much on my plate right now. Let me just get the diet dialed in. And like I say, yesterday was 100% perfect. 0 carbs. Today, 100% perfect. 0 carbs. And seeing my blood pressure back up there and knowing what I went through 2 years ago, Brian, when I had that mini stroke, when I got off the diet before, that's a huge wake up call for me. I'd say 59, I'll be 60 on my next birthday. This is not the time to be playing chicken with high blood pressure and probably my A1C's back up, I'm sure. Once I get a job lined up down there, we're going to live with my brother while our house is being built. My brother and I are very close. I love him to death. We're real close in age. He's like 17 months older than me. He bought a big house, much bigger than he needs, with the intention of my wife and I moving in and living with him while our house is being built. And my sister, who's a real estate agent at the site where we're buying these houses, it's 50 miles from her house to this site where she's the site agent. So she's going to stay there as well, a couple of nights a week in one of the other upstairs bedrooms. So really excited about that. It's just that, I've applied for a lot of jobs up here within the hospital to try to get out of the back of this moving ambulance. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. And, I got one response that said we've decided to go with a different candidate. Thank you for applying. And that was a job it was in labor and delivery. I don't know if I'd hire a 59-year-old guy to work in labor and delivery, but other places of the hospital, I've filled out the application, submitted my resume, I've checked all the boxes, and I haven't even got I haven't gotten anything. Nothing like saying we've decided to go with another candidate or whatever. And a little disheartening because I come with a lot of experience, and I'm very good at what I do. I'm very compassionate. I'd love to take care of people. I hate that people are so sick and need taken care of, but that's what I was built to do, to help people. And so thinking, well, what if I go through this? I spend this $1,000 for this class. I go take this 4-week class, which, like I say, I've already passed the final exam. But I go take this class, I go to Aiken, and I can't get a job down there. I mean, then what happens? And at 59 years old, I'm not old enough to retire. I can't draw my Social Security. I have a job now, but the job I have now is about to kill me. I almost despise going to work. I don't know what the future holds, but I know if I don't get my blood pressure and my health and my diet in check, none of that's going to matter. If I have a stroke out, or have a heart attack, whatever, then who gives a crap, So this has got to be my priority, is getting my health back in order. I don't have the luxury of thinking it's going to be the other guy, when too often I see people in the hospital my age who are, paralyzed on one side because of a stroke or whatever. So I got to get my act together. But that's a great point, Brian, about one thing at a time. Don't try to do everything. Just get the diet dialed in. And yesterday was perfect. Today was perfect. And I went grocery shopping. I went to Sam's yesterday. Got 3 18 packs of eggs. I got some more bacon. I got some more hamburger meat. My wife and I had, I grilled a London broil on the grill tonight. And that's all I ate was London broil and a little bit of a Good Culture cottage cheese. I've had a couple of LaCroix sparkling waters today, plus some more water. So 2 days, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? Or in this case, restart somewhere. 2 days of absolute perfect, no temptations. I'm off again tomorrow. I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I'm going to get up early, fix my breakfast at home so I don't go by the convenience store. And I'm going to fast and then come home and eat. And when I get home, I've got some rope sausage. I've got those hamburger patties that I've made up. So I think we're on a good footing right now. I just got to stay there no matter what happens in the job front.
Yeah. Okay. I noticed comments are doing the same thing again tonight that I've seen before in the past. Last couple weeks it hasn't happened, which is weird. But I wasn't seeing any comments for a while, and then after like 5-6 minutes, a bunch of comments came in. So I'm gonna go back through some of these comments here. Bride's Biscuit says that's a whole lot of life coming at you. You are in my prayers, Johnny.
Thank you so much, Bride's Biscuit. I appreciate that.
And Carno Mofo says, try giving yourself keto treats instead of the bad stuff. I mean, that's your biggest thing, right? Is the honey buns at the convenience store, right?
Yeah, that and the chocolate donut.
Maybe if you have something on you, some kind of treat, whatever it is, beef jerky, something, and you feel that craving, go to that. I don't know. Maybe that'll help. Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing some McKilt's ice cream. I've had that before. It's not my favorite. At least it's something that you feel like you're getting something. And I just what I do is the egg yolks, the heavy whipping cream, and I get the organic heavy whipping cream without the polysorbate 80 in it. And then I might put like a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract in there. And sometimes I don't even do that, but that would be an alternative, and I could have that in the evening when I get home, or if I go out and walk in the night and I come home, it's a little bit hot. My wife's sitting there having her ice cream. I could have my ice cream as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Peter's here. Hello, Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Paul says, looks like the main thing is you need a job to try to get a home loan, I guess he's saying. First, will CNA cover what's
certified nursing assistant? That's what I'm trying to get in.
Will that cover enough pay, I guess he's saying?
In the hospital, it will, Paul. It will in the hospital. If I worked in a nursing home, it would not be enough. It's only like $16, $17 an hour in a nursing home. But if you do shift work in a hospital, it ends up being between $25 and $30 an hour. And sometimes they have these bonus shifts where if their hospital census is high and staffing is low, they'll pay an additional $15 an hour. So you're talking about $40 an hour and unlimited overtime. They're so short staffed that I could get plenty of overtime. And I only make $28 an hour now. That's all I make. And we're doing okay. My wife is a fully retired teacher with her Social Security and stuff. So between the two of us, we do okay. But it would be tough if I went to work in a nursing home, which I probably could land a job in a nursing home pretty quickly because, man, they are desperately short staffed. But one, I don't really want to do that. And two, it would really not be enough income to cover the mortgage that we're looking to get.
Yeah. Okay. And again, weird with the comments. The last comment that I see is from 5 minutes ago. So if you put in a comment, I'll probably see it here in the next couple minutes. And maybe if there's something that we need to talk on, we will there. Okay. So I had asked that question. I had another question. Now I got to try and remember what the other question was, right? Yeah. So let's see. Oh boy. Oh, I was going to ask, you had experience in the past working with Home Depot. Have you looked into that situation down in South Carolina? I don't know if actually for the same type of job there.
It was Lowe's and
it's Lowe's. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Same thing, basically. I have it, and I left in very good standing. They love me to death. The one here, so that might be an option. And if it push comes to shove, I may have to. May not have an option. I may have to go work in retail. The problem is if you leave healthcare and go to work in retail and then apply for a big home loan, they're going to want to see like a year on the job or whatever. So it's this whole time crunch because once they start building our house, and we have to put some earnest money down, which we sell this house, we'll have it. But then if they take 2 or 3 months to build the house, we got to go apply for a mortgage. And I don't necessarily know that I want to go work a retail job. That would be a significant pay cut because retail, they don't allow you any overtime. Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that, overtime is a 4-letter word. I've always made most of my money by working extra shifts and overtime. But yeah, I just the wheels fell off the bus, man. This was going too good, and it felt like it was going too good. I hate to be somewhat pessimistic, but hopefully I can take this class, pass this class, spend another $1,000. Well, these $1,000 are adding up quick. But anyway, because I've spent a ton of money fixing the house up as well. and renting storage buildings down in Aiken and renting a truck to take stuff down there. So anyway, I digress. Hopefully I'll get this job and then I'll just apply. There's only one hospital in Aiken. It's Aiken Regional Medical Center. And they do occasionally have CNA positions open. Worst case scenario is I could apply for a position across the bridge in Augusta, Georgia. There's 4 big hospitals in Augusta. So not all hope is not lost. It's just that when you're 59 years old and you're applying for these jobs, you have to wonder if if there's other applicants that come in that are 30 years younger than you, what would entice them to pick you, I think if I get an interview, I'll get a job. I can show, hey, this is what I'm all about. I'm passionate about it. I'm not just looking for a job. I'm looking for this position, if you will. But just getting somebody to call me back when they see that I was born in 1967 might be the challenging part.
Yeah. Now, when you apply for these positions, do they ask you when you're born? Do you have to, or how old you are? Do you have to put that in?
Yeah, usually on the application, you put your date of birth on there, and then you put your work history. My work history is 40 something years long. I don't put it all on there because what I did in 1988 probably isn't really relevant to now, but we'll see. And the reason I was talking about my job and why I'm wanting so desperately to get off of a moving ambulance, I've had several really, really close calls lately. We had an 18-wheeler the other day. Traffic was stopped and he didn't. And by the grace of God, he was able to steer around us. But I was in the back and he was coming right at us. And if he had not been able to maneuver to the shoulder, I don't know that I would be sitting here today. Then a day or 2 days after that, one of our ambulances did get hit. A big construction truck ran into the back of one of our ambulances on the interstate, stopped for traffic. And we had 2 of our employees get injured. They're not terribly injured, but they were both injured. The ambulance was destroyed. If you never ride in a car, Brian, if you never get in a car, the odds of being injured or killed in a car wreck are 0, right? If you only ride in a car every now and then, the odds of getting injured or killed in a car wreck are pretty slim. But when you ride in the back of a moving vehicle on the interstate all day, every day, and then sometimes I drive, but when you're in a moving vehicle on the interstate system all day, every day, you dramatically increase your odds of being injured or killed in a car wreck, right? And I mean, and some of these young people I work with, some of the people that I work with are in their early 20s. And if I'm in the back, we hire drivers. So a lot of these people are just drivers. They're not EMTs or paramedics. And they don't understand that, they just drive like crazy. And I look up there and they're looking at their phones and I'm like, I'm threatening to write them up, and we're getting slung around in the back. And anyway, I'm just ready. There's too much stress on me. I don't need to be spending, 10, 11 hours a day on the interstate or on these country highways. I want to go to work in a stationary place.
Yeah. So Aqua asked you where in Florida you're moving. You're moving to South Carolina, right? Not Florida.
Yeah. Aiken, South Carolina, which is really close to Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, and I just got a big dump of comments come in. I don't know why it does that. So crazy. Oh. Yeah. Peter's just telling you, right? He's right. Right. Yeah. You want to fix your blood pressure and health, you got to stop eating the donuts, the Danish you've been eating at work, and go clean. Yep, that's very important to clean. I think this is a new poster here, new commenter. Hello. 4 months with cheese and ricotta, 2 months of only ground beef and butter for adding fat, a few weeks of only rare steak and fat trimmings. Still waiting for my digestion to work and burn to go.
19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Good job. It'll happen. Trust me. You're just getting started.
Yep.
You'll be fine. 19 years old, you got plenty of energy. So lift those weights, do some sprints, get some good sleep, turn off your social media stuff at night, get some rest. You'll be surprised how this will if you start now, when you're Rick's age, Charger Mopar there, he's been a carnivore for 42 years, and he's not had any of these health issues that the rest of us have had to deal with. So he's, proof is in the pudding. Look at Rick as a prime example that this is the way to live. This is the way we're supposed to live, and the rest of us kind of got off track. And Rick has showed us what would happen if we would have stayed on track.
Yeah. I'm curious, everybody out there in the chat, let me know if you're seeing all the comments as they come in, or did you have the same thing? Like it was like 8 minutes ago. There are comments that are showing timestamp. Well, 8:20, 8:22, that kind of stuff just came in for us, and it's like 8:30 now. So I don't know if it's just what we're seeing through StreamYard, or if you've got the same thing as you're watching the live stream. So let us know. I'm curious about that. Good point here, Bride's Biscuit. Spinning too many plates tend to fall, lighten your load, engage with any stress management tools at your disposal. Challenges to mental health will cascade in the body. There was a comment I saw. Here it is. And I want to bring this up because Dr. Sean O'Mara, there's something I want to bring up with that. He says, I remember when Johnny was doing the push-up videos, we need to get you back to that. Dr. Sean O'Mara was talking about stress and how it raises your cortisol level, right? And when you start to feel stressed or upset or whatever it is, if you go and do something like just go out and sprint or do push-ups or something like that, where you really get your activity level going, it does the quick jump up on the cortisol and then lowers it back down. Whereas if you do the whole getting stressed and just you yell or whatever because you get upset about something, it raises up and it stays up there. So some sort of quick activity like that, like the push-ups, could really help with your stress. And that came straight from Dr. Sean O'Mara, a video I saw like in the last week here. So that's a good one.
I appreciate that advice. You're right. You're exactly right.
Peter says, I know it's not easy, but it can be done if you put your mind to it. Johnny, I'm praying for you.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. And I can use all the prayers I can get. And here's the thing. Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, but our whole future hangs in the balance of this, I mean, we're wanting to move out of this 2-story house so that my wife, who's a little bit older than me, doesn't have to go up and down the stairs with the laundry basket. We've picked out the house, the floor plan that we want, the lot that we want. My brother bought a house thinking we were going to live over there. And, this whole thing teeters on me getting a job that pays enough to make all that happen. So, and I know I don't want to get repetitious there, but I mean, this is a lot riding on something that I feel like I don't have a lot of control over, and the fact that I went and got my CNA certification thinking I could just get a reciprocity to South Carolina, not realizing I had to take this class, which is going to postpone. We were supposed to put our house on the market next week, but now I'm going to be in class. The class starts 2 weeks from now, and it's a 4-week class. So it's at least 6 weeks really before we need to put our house on the market. And even then, if I don't have a job down there, what do we do? I mean, I'm just, I feel like I've let my wife down big time. But it's going to keep working. That's all I know to do is keep working. And like I said, when I saw that blood pressure, my blood pressure, y'all, was day before yesterday was 188/100. And that's where it used to be all the time. I was on lisinopril, which is a blood pressure medicine, hydrochlorothiazide, which is a blood pressure medicine, and atenolol, which is a heart/blood pressure medicine. And they kept upping my dose, and my blood pressure never came down. There's nothing they could do to get it down. It only went down when I went carnivore. And when I went carnivore and stayed clean and started exercising and doing those push-ups, my blood pressure would consistently be high 120s, low 130s over 80 to 90, which is still higher than it should be, but that was a whole hell of a lot better than basically 200/100, which is where I've lived for 15 years. It's a wonder I'm still alive. It's a wonder I haven't had a stroke yet.
Wow. All right, let's get back to some more comments here. Peter says, instead of trying to substitute Kilt's ice cream or alternatives that simulate sweets, I highly recommend you eliminate all sweets. It perpetuates your cravings for sugar carbs. That's the whole idea of so when I was on the live stream that I was talking about before we went live with the Anivore podcast on Sunday morning, we were talking. That's that whole thing, right? Like, think of it this way: you don't, if you're an alcoholic, you don't just try and have it in moderation or imitate it. I mean, maybe some people actually try to with, what is it, near beer or fake beer or whatever, but that doesn't actually have alcohol. But you really shouldn't, right? You need to abstain, stay completely away from it. And it's the same thing if you're addicted to sweets. I'm addicted to sweets. I've had the videos, I've talked about my frosting mistakes in the last month, right? That I've had a couple of those. And Peter's right. You got to try and stay away from it completely. And he also says Kelly Hogan has some excellent videos about eliminating sweet tastes.
I love Kelly Hogan. I've met her a couple times.
Good. Linda says, you can do it, Johnny. I'm praying for you. I put a little heavy cream, vanilla sweetener, collagen powder, and plain Greek yogurt together in a mason jar and freeze it. It is so good. Right. So I am way behind on comments here, so I'm going to try and catch up.
Sure.
It's because for like 8 minutes, nothing was coming in. It was crazy. Paul says, yeah, age is real. It's often a no-go. We're getting to that age level. At that age, it definitely becomes an issue. Peter says, don't worry, you'll get a job. You've got excellent experience. I got a great job and I'm 63.
Yeah. I appreciate the vote of confidence, Peter. I hope so.
Okay, so Carno says he sees the message, the comments coming in instantly in the chat. So it must be something within StreamYard that it gets delayed like that. I don't know why that happens. Right. Yeah. Rick says they come in as they drop in as they come. I have both your channels open. Okay.
Appreciate it, Rick.
So this is the 19-year-old was talking about their digestion issues. I have a strong burning sensation, heaviness 3 hours after eating meat and fat to satiety. Lately, even diarrhea, can't train, still depressed. People around you telling you to eat normally. Maybe try not eating as much. So I don't know if you're trying to eat like one meal a day and maybe your body's having adjusting to it. I'm just going by, you're saying eating to satiety. So maybe try spreading it out over 2 to 3 meals in a day. And then you can slowly work your way to one, if that's what you want to go to, see how that works. Maybe.
Yep. One thing about it, Jenna Matrone, I hope I'm saying that right, 7507, you're your own experiment. Like Brian says, try something different. Eat 3 small meals. See if that gets that heaviness and that diarrhea stuff to go away. Most people will go through diarrhea if they go from the standard American diet to full carnivore or a real high fat, moderate protein, very low carb diet. It's not uncommon. Make sure you have your electrolytes. Electrolytes tend to be the thing that fixes almost all ails of people that do this lifestyle. I'm a big fan of the LMNT. I get the unflavored one, put a little thing of it into my water in the mornings and sip on that all day, and it seems to work wonders. Plus, Brian and I were talking about this earlier. I use the Redmond's Real Salt, and I'm not afraid to salt my food. And the Redmond's Real Salt has trace minerals in it over and above just the sodium. So just try whatever you need to try. Just keep changing it up until you find what works. But don't change something every 2 or 3 days. You got to stick with it long enough to see if it will fix your problems, and then you can adjust from there.
Peter says blood pressure of 188 over 180 is stroke level. Please get back to clean carnivore, do push-ups, run in place, do squats, or better yet, go for long walks and sprint.
Yeah.
And then he says, if you're not going to stop the sweets, you really need to go back to the medications. You know, yeah, that is a very high blood pressure. I mean, carbohydrate intake is going to do it along with the stress. I know you've been very stressed. Really have.
I just want to say one thing, Peter. I agree with you. You're right, but I was already on 3 meds, almost the max dose I could take, and my blood pressure stayed that high. The blood pressure medicine had no effect on my blood pressure at all. They kept changing them, adding more, increasing my dosage, increasing how often I took it, and it did nothing. The only thing that fixed my blood pressure was clean carnivore and exercise, and in that order, because I didn't exercise to start off with. And like I said, it was perfect yesterday, perfect today. I hope I'm on that thing, and seeing that blood pressure being that high and realizing that I may have, kind of crossed the Rubicon when it comes to my health. I weighed 273 this morning. My highest I was 330. So I'm still not as big as I was at one time, but I'm certainly bigger than I was 6 months ago when I was down in the 240s. But we're going to get there. I promise you. Watch next Wednesday. If I'm not here, it didn't work out. If I'm here, hopefully my Aqua Hero will see that my face is a little bit smaller.
All right. Lucas, I think this is someone new as well. Hello.
Hey, Lucas.
It's really, really harmful sleeping 6 hours because of business at 20 years old. I'm a little bit anxious about that, to be honest. You want to tackle that real quick?
Yeah. I mean, everybody, I don't know that everybody needs exactly 8 hours of sleep. Some people, my wife sleeps 9-10 hours a day, and she seems to do really well with that. My sister sleeps 5 hours a day, and she does well with that. Just to give you an example. Usually I like to get close to 8 hours. Here lately, I got so much on my mind, I can't really get my mind to shut off, so it's been tough. Like I woke up, I slept an hour and a half last night, woke up, went back to bed, slept 2 hours, woke up, stayed up to 5 this morning, and then slept to 7:30 on the couch downstairs. So it's tough, but under normal circumstances, when I'm feeling good and I'm exercising and things are going well and I'm not under a mountain of stress, I usually get 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep, and I don't set my alarm clock. I just wake up. I go to bed at 10:30, 11. I'm usually up at 6:30 or 7, and it's almost automatic. I think if I needed more, I would stay asleep more. If I needed less, I'd wake up earlier. But I don't know that you can put a blanket statement saying everybody needs exactly this amount of hours. I think if you work in construction or you work a really physically demanding job, you may need more rest. If you have a desk job where you don't burn a lot of calories, you're not up moving around a lot, it may not require as much sleep. But I'm not a doctor, so that's just my thought there.
Yeah. I think that somewhere between 7 to 9 hours is probably ideal for most people. Mm-hmm. I think that if you're getting less than 7 hours, you might be spiking your cortisol a little bit too much, right? But when you're younger, a lot of times you don't notice the issues because overall your body hasn't gone through as much as it has for us that are older, right? Like when I was younger, there were plenty of times that I would get less sleep. Now, if I get less sleep, I really notice it. So maybe the best thing is to pay attention to how you feel. Like when you wake up, do you still feel tired? If you're still feeling tired, then maybe you actually do need more than the 6 hours. And it probably ideally is better to get at least 7 to 8 hours. So that's where I would fall on that. Holly says, good evening. Adding bacon grease to my beef patties helps me get over cravings.
And bacon I will say that, Brian,
are good for that stuff.
Yeah, I do. I fix my eggs in my bacon grease every morning. And that's one thing I've gone back to, maybe to Peter's point and some others. I bought me a big thing of Kerrygold butter. I was out of butter, and I love Kerrygold salted butter. So that was my snack yesterday, and that was my snack today. And I also had that Good Culture cottage cheese. If I get anxious and I feel like I want a snack, I've eaten about a half a container of the Good Culture cottage cheese in the last 2 days, but it's really clean and it's got the probiotics. I had some tonight with my on the grill. We fixed a London broil steak tonight, and so as I was eating the London broil, I was also putting some Good Culture cottage cheese and chewing it together, like Dr. O'Mara says to do. So I've got to keep on, but I tell you that Kerrygold butter, man, that's for a snack that's not sweet. I love it. I usually eat at least a stick of butter when I'm doing well and I'm on plan. It's not uncommon for me to eat a half stick to a stick of butter every single day. And it's grass-fed cows. I enjoy it, and it helps knock those cravings off.
All right. Rick's blood pressure is 105/63. Peter says that's the BP of a fresh cadaver. Rick will come inside the house from doing some crazy thing, maybe moving some heavy machinery or something like that. Check his blood pressure. It is still low. It's insane. Aqua Hero says isometric exercise like wall sits are clinically proven to reduce systolic by 15 points for hours. That's interesting.
Great point.
Peter says if the BP meds don't work, then the only choice you have is to either fix it with clean carnivore or keep eating the honey buns and donuts, and that's not going to end well.
He's exactly right. 100% right.
Oh, Rick, when we're talking about the sleeping thing, says he goes to bed 10:30 and wakes up at 6:30. That's another thing that's really big with sleep, is if it's constantly the same time.
Right.
So if you're only getting 6 or 7 hours, but it's always the same, your body kind of gets into a rhythm with that, and it might work better than somebody that's getting 8 hours, but one time it's what's 8, 10 to 4,
10 to 6. Yeah,
10 to 6, 10 to 6. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't count. 10 to 6, and then the next day it's 1 to 11, right? 1 a.m. to 11 or something. Your body's not getting as good of rhythm, so they might not be, even though they're getting more sleep, they may not be as rested as in good circadian rhythm as the person that's getting 6 to 7 hours. So that's a good point.
Yep.
Is Bill saying drink till 2 a.m., get up at 5:45 for work?
Hopefully
that sounds like something we would have done when we were younger.
Yeah, and back in the day, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's talking about when we were younger.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I mean, I agree with this. Most people who have BP as low as Rick's would either be passed out on the floor in an ambulance headed to the ER. It'd be amazing if my blood pressure was that low. So Lucas, back to the sleep thing, says, yeah, probably need more hours because I don't want to compensate that with 4 cups of coffee a day. Yeah, no, that's good. If you feel like you need to drink coffee to keep yourself awake, then you're not getting enough sleep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, Peter says he packs carnivore foods to take to work every day. Then I'll have the urge opportunity to cheat. It sounds like that is one of your biggest things, is on the days you work, you go by the convenience store and the craving starts, the temptation starts, and then you go and get something that you shouldn't.
And the weird thing is, Brian, as I'm driving and I'm getting closer and closer to this one particular convenience store, I tell myself, I'm not turning in. I'm not turning in. I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to go by. I'm going to be strong today. And then I get close to my car. It seems like my car turns itself in. Of course, I know I'm steering it. And I say, okay, well, just today, today is it. It's kind of like the frosting with you. It's like, this day is the last day. I'll start clean tomorrow. But, today is going to be different, which is what any alcoholic, drug addict, anybody that's addicted to whatever, they promise themselves tomorrow will be different. At some point in time, people like myself have to just commit whatever it takes. Tomorrow's got to be different. If tomorrow's not different for me, I'll be dead. I won't be alive in a year, and I'll just move and it won't even matter. My wife will have to do it without me. I've got, I don't have an option anymore. I've got to get this fixed right now. And the blood pressure, because you see on the scale, and I see on my clothes a little bit tighter, my belt's tighter, all that stuff. But seeing my blood pressure day before yesterday was like, oh my goodness. Here we are back at, ground zero, where I started all this almost 3 years ago. So hopefully that will be the catalyst to keep me from turning in. I did go buy a bunch of food because I didn't have a lot here. We're trying to pare down our food because we've got 2 refrigerators and 3 freezers, and we're trying to pare all that down before we move. But I'm just going to have enough stuff on hand that I can cook myself the bacon and eggs in the morning, which I had yesterday and today. And then, I've got some of those chomps, those meat sticks that are like chomps or whatever. They're pretty clean. And I've got some of those I can take to work. And, I buy cases of this sparkling water. And then sometimes I just get water I have filtered water in my refrigerator. And I've got a big water bottle that I take. And I usually drink at least one of those a day. So we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And this whole thing's going to work itself out one way or the other.
Yeah. So I was going to say, so I work from home often, but I do go in the office sometime. And when I go to the office, because see, I'm the type of person that I like to make my food, cook it right before I'm going to eat it. Right. So I don't like to cook food like in the evening for the next day to take to work or something. So when I go into the office, I decide I'm going to fast. I'm not going to eat at least until I get home, or maybe that entire day type thing. Right. And so far it's worked for me, because the temptation of going out for fast food, I keep telling myself that it's just not healthy enough. It's not as healthy as if I was eating at home. So I'm going to wait until I get home to eat. And that's worked for me. Obviously that doesn't work for everybody, but at least that's worked for me so far. Have you tried ghee? I think it's cheaper than Kerrygold.
I have some ghee.
Some in our pantry right now.
Yeah. And I've cooked with it. I've never eaten it raw or whatever. But I have cooked with it a pretty good bit, actually. I've got a big container, Sam's or Costco, one of them, about a year ago, and I still have it. And I think it's still good. Really big on bacon grease here lately, Brian. I've been trying to, if I cook bacon for anything other than bacon and eggs, I try to save the grease. I went and bought the little kettle with the strainer in it. So really big about using bacon grease, especially when I have like the cube steak, which I cook that cube steak in bacon grease, which is one of my favorite meals. So I do have some ghee. I started to buy some yesterday. I just didn't pick it up, but they have the beef tallow in Sam's. I know Costco has it, but now Sam's has, a quart jar or whatever of beef tallow that you can buy. So that'd be pretty cool. I don't know how clean it is. I'll have to look at it, but it was cool to see that as an option in the store, as opposed to just the seed oils that they have,
Yeah. Do you have a Wegmans anywhere near you? Wegmans grocery store?
No, they're not down here.
Okay. There's a Wegmans that's like, I don't know, 20 minutes or so from my house. And for about 2 months now, they've had family size packages of ground beef for $4.99 a pound. It's 80/20. It's about 6 pounds per package. So I'll go and get 2 or 3 packages every time I go. And I've been eating a lot of ground beef that I've been making into burger patties lately. Still eat steak, but boy, you can't beat the $4.99 a pound price.
No, I'm paying $6.99 for the beef I'm getting at Sam's. Christy.
Oh my gosh, Christy, there you go. I was drawing a blank. Like I could see her face, I couldn't remember her name. Christy, good to see you again.
Looks like she's getting active on YouTube again as well. I've seen a couple of her videos that she's done very recently. So, Christy, good to have you back.
Rick says, never had the young guy abuse yourself phase. Treat myself the same now as I did in the 80s. Yes. The heart attack diet, right? That was your abuse, going to the heart attack diet.
I saw a thumbnail today. I think Thomas put out a video. I didn't get a chance to watch it, He was doing Rick's Heart Attack Burgers. Did you see that? I hope to get a chance to watch it. But Thomas was doing what's his name? Is Target Prime Rib.
Target Prime Rib.
Yeah, was going to try Rick's Heart Attack hamburgers. So that'd be a pretty cool video to watch.
Chrissy says she packs carnivore foods for school. She's a teacher, by the way, if anybody didn't know.
Yep. She's out in Cali.
Oh, all I saw was Professor Mitch. That's enough to bring this one up. Let's see what it says. As Professor Mitch always says, never let yourself get hungry. Pack a bunch of hard-boiled eggs, cold-cooked burger patties, leftover meat or wings, etc., and bring with you to work every day. A bacon too. You know, you can pre-cook bacon. When I first was on carnivore, sometimes in the evening when I got the cravings, I would just cook a pound of bacon and eat a pound of bacon.
Yep. And you know, I don't love them as much as cooked, but I love cold burger patties. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'll cook them the night before, throw them in a Ziploc bag, and just carry them with me. So that's great advice, Peter. And you know, the advice you're giving me is literally going to help me save my life. So that is not lost on me. I do appreciate it.
Yeah. Ghee doesn't taste like much. Yeah. I thought it's kind of got some sort of a strong taste though, because I used it to cook, but I've also just take a swipe to taste to see what it tasted like. And I thought it was like a strong buttery taste, like stronger than butter to me. That's what I thought. Now the ghee I got was from Costco. I don't know, but
I never tasted mine, Brian, but I don't think it didn't change the flavor of my food, but maybe it did. I just love Kerrygold butter. I've had there's an Amish butter. You can buy these big, huge rolls of Amish butter, which is grass fed. And it's just the cream and salt. There's nothing else in there. So it's very clean. It's really good too, but it comes in these big old packs. You know, you got to buy this thing. And with the Kerrygold, I can just take and open one stick and either eat half of it or eat the whole thing. And I get it at Sam's. Kerrygold's expensive at the grocery store. But if you go to Sam's and buy the big pack, then the price per stick is about what it would be for the store brand butter. But you got to go to Sam's, you got to buy the big pack of it, which is no problem for me because I'll go through one of those packs in 10 days probably.
Yeah. What's it? Oh, this is what I was gonna bring up. Rick, the fast food that tempts me will not tempt anyone else. It's got to be duck or something.
Iguana.
Iguana Nation. Oh yeah, Rick says yes. I think it's iguana. Yeah. Oh, Christy says, yep, back on the old channels. That's good.
Yep.
Glad that you're back doing videos. That's the last video, or that's the last comment I can see again from like 4 or 5 minutes ago. I don't know. So if there's more comments coming out there, hopefully I'll see them in a couple minutes because I can't see them right now. This is the craziest thing. I don't know why it does that. It's so weird. And the last 3 to 4 weeks, it has not happened. It's been fine. And then all of a sudden now tonight, it's doing it again.
Yes, it's me. I'm doing something wrong on my end, Brian, probably.
Well, I mean, I know you missed the last 2 weeks, but even before that, the last couple of times, I think we're just you and I, we didn't seem to have any problems with that happening. And then now tonight, it's been really bad again. So it's weird. Yep. I don't know. I mean, I'm paying enough. I'm paying like $45 a month for this service.
Yeah, me too.
It's crazy. Should work better. Anyway.
Yeah, you think. Yeah.
All right.
Bill put on here, if you see that one comment Bill put on here at 8:35, which is some time ago, I guess, that walking helps reduce BP. I need to do more of that. Sometimes when we're at the hospital and we've got time between picking up our next patient, I just need to just do a lap around the hospital or a lap around like the outer part of the hospital to try to get more steps in. And, you know, when I worked at Lowe's, I was getting 14,000 to 20,000 steps in a day because I worked 11-hour shifts at Lowe's. You're on your feet the whole day. Now that I'm in the back of the ambulance and we're doing so many, transports per day, and some of these transports are out of town, I mean, we may drive 230, 250 miles in a day. you think about that in traffic, I'm only getting 5,000 or 6,000 steps, and I'm working 11 hours. So I just need to make a conscious effort to get more steps in and to walk with purpose, not mosey, but walk a little faster and do all that. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll for the next couple of weeks, I'll come on and kind of give you an update of my diet, my blood pressure, exercise. Hopefully I can get some more sprinting videos out. I definitely wanted to go sprinting today. I just didn't get a chance, but maybe in the morning I'll go to the park and run some sprints. I got all my timing stuff ready to go. I'll just maybe put out a video tomorrow about some sprints and just do the 40-yard dash and just kind of get a base time. I won't be anywhere near as fast as I was last year, but you got to start somewhere, or like I said earlier, restart somewhere. But I'll keep everybody apprised. I'm gonna kick this thing, and hopefully you guys pray hard for me that a job will open up and we can move forward with what we've been working on for 6 months, and we can continue to move forward, my wife and I.
Yeah. So I was gonna about the exercise thing. Rick had been on the last couple of weeks, right? When you were out. And I don't remember if it was last Wednesday or it was the Wednesday before. We were talking though about it and how Rick doesn't really have any set exercise he does, like kind of like you and I will do stuff because he's so active. So like when you were talking about being active with working at Lowe's, that does make a big difference, right? That's like Rick. He's doing more active things in his life, the work he does. And then when he goes to the store, most of the time he's riding a bike, not driving there. He's riding a bike. So he's getting all kinds of activity in. So he's getting plenty of activity that way. And that makes a big difference. So when you switch from the Lowe's to the ambulance job, that's when he kind of got to the point where it's like, yeah, you got to do something more. That's how I am now, right? I sit at a desk job basically all the time. So that's why I try and get up every once in a while and do push-ups or something. Got to keep yourself going, doing some sort of activity and so forth. Yeah,
that's why I'm so excited and looking forward to when it does happen, me getting a job in the hospital, because working as a CNA, I eventually want to get my nursing degree, my LPN, because that's a 1-year, 3-semester course. The hospital will help me pay for it. The community college is right down the street from where we're going to be living. So, this being a CNA is just a way to get my foot in the door and make some relationships and then get my LPN, which will be a $10 an hour raise. But having said all that, nurses usually work 12-hour shifts, 7A to 7P is what I want. And it wouldn't be uncommon for me to get between 15,000 and 20,000 steps in working a 12-hour shift on a floor in a hospital. So that would be an added benefit, the more activity. Plus pulling, lifting people, pulling people, helping people stand and move around and stuff like that. There'll probably be some resistance training there as well. And it'll satisfy my heart because my heart is helping people. That's all I want to do.
Yeah. So I just went on to my YouTube channel so I can see comments because there's nothing showing up in StreamYard.
Yeah.
And there are all kinds of comments in here. It's so saddening that it's not working. I'm trying to figure out where we were. So we talked about that. Carnivore foods. Yeah, the Mitch thing. Okay. Carno Mofo says, from Sam's Club, get members mark prime rib ground beef patties for $5.97 a pound. That's pretty good. Good change of pace.
I got those yesterday, Brian. They had a couple of packs that were on markdown. I got them. They're smaller. They're like slider size, but they're prime rib, ground prime rib, and they're very, very good. They're kind of lean, so I got to eat some butter with them. But they had some 2 packs on markdown, $3 or $4 off. And I put them in the freezer. So I've got some of those, and that's a great one right there. They're really good.
Yeah. Cynthia is here. She says, I'm late, but stopped in to say hi. So hello, Cynthia. Bill says that he feels like he can eat about a pound of burgers at a time, sometimes less. That's one thing that I find that's interesting. Oh, look, all the comments are popping in now.
Yeah, they come.
That is so Well, now I can go out of that, so it's not slowing down my stream. But yeah, that's something I've noticed. Like with beef, ground beef seems to be more filling to me than steak. I can eat I don't know, let's say 24 ounces or so about a pound and a half, New York strip or ribeye, and get nice and full. Or I can eat about a pound of ground beef and get nice and full. So it's weird, isn't it? Like you would think it should be 24 ounces, a pound and a half, the same because it's beef. But for some reason, I don't know what it is about ground beef, but it seems to fill me up more. So, all right, let's see if I can find out where, now that I got all the comments showing up again. Okay, so we were just right there where Bill was saying that. Right before that was Cynthia saying hi. Okay, Peter says, Johnny, I know we don't know each other in person, but I consider you and Brian good friends, and I care a lot about you guys. Just trying to my best to help.
And it's appreciated, Peter. Very, very much so. We love you, man. We really do. This community is what's holding everything together for me here lately. I know I was absent in the last 2 weeks, but I was watching, lurking in the comments, and I know everybody's praying for me, and I know things are going to work out. God didn't bring me this far to drop me now, but still just a season of life I'm going through. It will. This too shall pass, and I do appreciate the support, Peter. Obviously.
And I was just saying before we went live, myself and everybody in the community, everybody that's going to be watching tonight are going to help support you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You said it perfectly here, Peter. We definitely want to hear the things that you're saying is spot on. And sometimes we need to hear those things, right?
Yeah.
Brad, right? Brad.
Yeah.
Yes, Greg's friend Brad is here.
I haven't seen him in forever.
Around with sardines.
Great to see you again, my friend. Awesome.
Yes.
He type 1 and he's type 1 diabetic. I remember seeing him a couple years ago.
Yes.
He and Greg were buddies, right? Up in there in northern Iowa.
He's been really good friends with Greg for a long time.
Yeah, and he's type 1 diabetic, and he used a low carb carnivore diet to really, really modulate how much insulin he has to take and stuff. Great to see you, my friend. Man, love you to death. So glad you're here. Welcome.
Yes.
And I haven't done the sardines yet, but that's coming up on the list. I'm going to get some sardines and some hot sauce or some mustard, and that'll give me some of the iodine. I don't get a lot of iodine in my diet because I don't eat much seafood, so maybe that can help with that as well. But thanks, Brad. Great to see you.
Greg and I will never live down the sardines video we did. Yeah. I'm sure that's what he's talking about there.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I hear you, Rick. I don't know why I'm paying $45. I do it just for this live stream, to be honest.
Yep.
That's why I do it. Trust me. You don't do YouTube to make money. I spend more than anything I get from ad revenue. Peter says his kryptonite is chocolate bars and cookies. I thought it was pretzels. Well, I know exactly the huge temptation you're facing. The only solution that's worked for me is to eat a big breakfast and bring carnivore foods to work. Yes, sardines are better than beer. Rick asks about cycling. I don't know if cycling has necessarily helped you, but it sure hasn't hurt you. I mean, he'll do these videos where he's talking for a half hour, riding his bike nonstop, not slowing down, and he is not out of breath at all. It's insane. It's amazing. Really is.
And he's in Miami.
Yes. Where's hot? Where's Thomas? We were talking about Thomas earlier. Hello. Yes, thank you, Cynthia. Hit that like button, everybody. Yeah, I think the cycling is definitely helping you. Yep. Cynthia's asking about what's going on with Johnny's job. So I think she missed the beginning when you were talking about it. You want to give us just
Yeah.
quick brief?
Yeah,
One
had a
minute.
job lined up. My wife and I are getting ready to build a new house down in Aiken, South Carolina, about 200 miles from where we live now. Had a job lined up before we made the move, put our house on the market, moved down there, and the job kind of fell through. And now I'm struggling to find a job down there and having some issues with some certifications transferring from North Carolina to South Carolina. You can go back and watch the first 15 minutes. Will explain everything, but in a nutshell, that's what's going on. And tough to go down there and build a new house and apply for a mortgage and everything when I don't really have the job situation locked in yet. So that's just kind of what's been very stressful for me. And it's my new excuse, or my newest excuse, for why I keep falling off the diet.
Something was ducktastic. I don't know what it was, because I'm so far behind now in comments. I'm like 8 minutes behind here. I have no idea. There was something we were talking about. Bill was born with a beer in his hand. There's got to be a meme of that somewhere.
Sure.
So when I was talking about the ground beef filling me up quicker, Christy said she's the opposite. Steak or picanha is more filling for me than ground beef. Interesting.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you a question. A lean ground beef patty versus a fatty, or like an 80-20 or 73-27. When I eat lean hamburger, which I don't that much anymore, but if it's really kind of dry, it fills me up very quickly. Have you noticed that? Like if it's a juicy burger, with 20% fat or 23% fat or whatever, I think I can eat more of that. Have you noticed that? Those dry hamburgers that are really, really lean, man, they just go down so hard.
I don't know. I normally typically get 80-20. I don't eat leaner than that.
Sure.
So I don't know. But that's interesting, because you would think with more fat content, it would fill you up quicker.
Yeah. And for me, it's 180 degrees opposite.
Interesting.
And every now and then, if I found a really good deal on like a 90-10 or 85-15 or whatever, that's a little bit leaner than I would normally eat, I notice I can't eat as much of that than if I have the 73-27, which is probably the fattiest meat you can find, on the grocery store shelf.
Yeah. Cynthia says, I picked up a couple of prime rib roast for $9 a pound for Easter. We'll be eating well, except for the couple of vegans coming over. I'll have to come up with something. Just tell them it's fake meat and see if they'll eat it.
We're doing them a huge favor.
That's the point, though. Easter is like a week and a half away, right?
Man,
I haven't even thought about it. I have no idea what we're going to really do. I mean, we normally have kielbasa. I have some homemade kielbasa that I made, so we're probably going to have that. I don't know if we're going to have ham or something. I haven't really been into ham lately. I don't know. I don't know. What do we got here?
Hey, Brian, if you have chicken wings, how many chicken wings do you think you would eat in a sitting if you were going to have that for your meal? Any idea?
Oh man. So if they are just like the regular chicken wings that you get, which that they're kind of like a half of a real chicken wing, right?
Right.
Like the party wings or whatever you get at the store or something like that. I can easily do 22 to 24 of them for a meal. I've done that before. And I'm putting butter on top of them, melted butter and everything. So yeah, I can do that easily for a meal.
Well, my wife made wings in the air fryer last night, and I think she had 8 and I had 16 because there was 24 in the bag. So I had 16, and she was like, I can't believe you ate that much. I'm like, I probably could have ate some more, but that's all I had. I just had, she had a salad or something with hers, but I just had the wings. And we put some Texas Pete on there, and you get the wings out of the fryer, you put some Texas Pete and some melted butter together, and then you kind of she put them in a Ziploc bag and shook them up, so the butter helps the hot sauce kind of stick to the wings a little bit. But yeah, I had 16 wings last night, and I thought they were pretty good. I haven't had chicken in a long time. That's the first time I've had chicken probably 6 months, and I don't do it a lot. No, I take that back. She made some chicken drumsticks in the oven a couple weeks ago, and I did have a couple of those, but don't do much chicken. But it was pretty good. It was I eat beef about every day, so it was almost like a nice break to have the chicken. Of course, I had the London broil tonight, which was really good.
Yeah. Most of the time when I have chicken, it is chicken wings.
Yeah.
Most of that.
Thank you, Rick. Rick said he wanted me to succeed. I appreciate that.
Yes. Rick says we want you to succeed. Sorry, I missed. Yep. Peter says I buy the 7327 burger patties at Aldi and cook them frozen in my air fryer like Mitch does. Then I add butter and top with fried eggs cooked in butter. Yum. Yeah, I was buying those from Aldi too. But and granted that is actually cheaper than the $4.99 a pound. But since I've been finding the ground beef at Wegmans for $4.99 a pound, I've just been buying that and making those into burger patties myself. But I used to do the Aldi ones too. Those are nice. Yeah, Christy doesn't want any sardines. I don't either, really. I really don't. Bill does sardines occasionally. Mackerel, kippers. I'm not sure that I've heard of kippers and salmon. I'll have salmon. That's I like salmon. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
it's a little lean, but it's good. Rick's craving his Muscovy duck. Christy's son Zach loves the burger patties with a slice of cheese. I eat them with butter and a fried egg with runny yolk. Peter likes sardines. Huh?
I haven't bought those at Aldi. I might have to try those sometime.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap. Peter says, and the other thing I was gonna say is they're cheaper than like the 80-20 ones for some reason because I have higher fat content. I guess they think people don't want them, so they're cheaper. Right. So it is a good deal. So Peter says I also have several cans of sardines and smoked oysters in my locker with a fork at work. Okay. Wow. So Rick cycling instead of driving different places saves him about $2,000 a year on fuel. Back to when you gave the update on your job, Cynthia said, sorry to hear that, Johnny. I remember when I was traveling nurse with the bother of getting my nursing license okayed with each state I worked.
Yep.
Rick needs over 3 pounds of ground beef to fill him up. Bill had to take off. All right, Bill, thanks for joining tonight.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you.
I'm like 7 minutes behind, so that's okay.
He's probably already gone.
Yeah. Thomas says, what do you say about me? We were just talking about the video. You came out with a new video about Rick's heart attack burger. Neither one of us saw it yet, but I guess Johnny saw the thumbnail for it. Was talking about how we want to see it. So we'll both probably watching it later this evening. Sandy's here. Hello, Sandy.
Hey, Sandy.
That was 6 minutes ago. Hopefully she's still here.
There.
Yeah, Brad's saying he is from Iowa. Greg moved to Omaha.
Yeah,
that's right. He did move to Omaha because he was talking about being able to go see the College World Series. Christy is cooking picanha and a ham roast, which she has never tried before. Ham roast, interesting. That's right. Cynthia's out that way too. She says that Greg is close to where she lives now. Oh, and then Christy's asking, has anybody ever tried a ham roast? I have to figure out how to cook it. I have not.
I didn't know there was such a thing. I know pork roast and I know ham. I didn't know there was a ham roast.
Yeah. Thomas says that he failed the challenge. He couldn't finish it. So now I know what's in the video. No, I'll still watch the video.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's the last comment again from 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to go back into YouTube, into the video, so I can see comments. This is crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. Where is it? And unfortunately, they're not time stamped there, so I got to try and figure out where it was. Okay, there's Christy's comment about the picanha. Okay. Peter says Texas Pete and melted butter makes a mean buffalo wing sauce. Texas Pete sauce. Okay.
That's what we had last night.
I've been using like Frank's Red Hot and melted butter together. That works well too. Christy had chicken thighs for dinner. Thomas had chicken wing, his heart attack burger with 2 whole sticks of butter today. Brad had scrambled eggs, hard-boiled eggs, omelets, fried eggs. Brad says he eats salmon once or twice a week. I wish I ate it that often. I really don't. Maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks I have salmon, but I should have it more. It's really good for you. How often do you have salmon?
Once a year. I probably should eat it a lot more, especially if I can get. I would assume there's iodine in salmon, right? It's a seafood. It's a saltwater fish. Maybe there's. I eat shrimp every now and then, but a lot of the shrimp we end up getting ends up being the farm raised. I don't know how much iodine's in that, but I would like to do the salmon more. I just don't take the time to do it.
The comments are back in again. As soon as I go into YouTube, the video, the comments start showing up again in here. That's weird. Peter had a big T-bone steak topped with melted butter and Malden smoked sea salt flakes with cold butter chunks inside. Did you see Kerry Mann's video for his 3-year anniversary? He went to Texas Roadhouse and ordered a 3-pound steak, 3-pound ribeye. Apparently, you can order whatever size you want there, and that's what he ordered. And they rang it up as, first of all, I think a 24-ounce ribeye, and then $2 a pound for every pound after that. So it ended up being like, I think he said $90 or something like that. But for 3 pounds, I mean, it's up there, but still, I mean, it's ribeye and it's already prepared for you and everything. And he pretty much ate the whole thing. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I struggle at 2 pounds. He got 3 pounds in.
And he's about half your size.
You said you haven't seen that video. In that video, like in the middle of the video, he was talking about how what he's really proud of is all the people that he's helped, and there were different people that were flashing on the screen of things that they were saying like, "Thank you, how you helped me," and you were in there. One of your comments, I think it was from one of our live streams, of you saying something to the effect of how he really helped you with watching his videos. So it was in that. So you got to go back and watch his 3-year anniversary.
I'll have to go back and watch that now.
For like 5 seconds or a couple seconds, whatever. But you're in it.
That's cool. I'm glad, because his video was the first carnivore thing I'd ever seen or heard of, and I watched one, then I watched another, then another, and next thing you know, I was getting my life turned around, and now I got to turn it around again.
Thomas likes sardines, but they seem to be fishy. They are definitely fishy. T-bones and New York strip are my fave, closely followed by, I guess, mostly picanha and ribeyes and ribs. I like ribeye the best, But like when I go to Costco, I can't justify $14.99 a pound as opposed to New York strip at $9.99 a pound. That's a $5 a pound difference. So I tend to get New York strip, and I like New York strip too. It's not quite as fatty, but I keep the fat cap in there for extra fat and cook it up. So let's see. Cynthia loves chicken thighs. Had chicken legs tonight. Wow, 50 cents a pound. Jason, I think that's first comment from him. So good to see Jason again tonight.
Hey, Jason.
Needs you make and eat the burger everyone is making and eating except you. The heart attack burger.
Yep. I'm assuming this is a burger deep fried in duck fat or something. I need to go back and watch Thomas's video.
Okay. Yeah, Peter recently bought drumsticks 59 cents a pound and wings for $1.59. Wow. That thing chicken is a lot cheaper than beef.
Yeah.
Thomas gets his burger patties from Walmart. I've gotten them from there before too. 73.27 he says they are. Yeah, I agree with that. And a lot of the thing that gets me is a lot of the people that I hear saying that it's got to be so expensive to eat carnivore. They'll be saying that to me as they're like drinking their Starbucks or eating their McDonald's fast food or something like that. And it's like, really? I'm like, that McDonald's fast food you're eating is actually more expensive than my steak I just ate.
So talking about that, Brian, you know, this year I've been struggling so much between a couple of donuts with my coffee in the morning and then fast food for lunch. I'm spending between $17 and $22 a day eating absolute garbage. If I spent $22 a day in carnivore, I could eat ribeye probably every day. You know, if I can find it on sale, buy the whole loin, cut it up. Instead, I'm eating junk and spending more money. It's just a lose-lose when you think carnivore is expensive and you steer clear of it because of that. You're losing health, which is going to cost you money in the long run, and you're losing money because it's not cheaper to eat junk. It's more expensive.
Yeah, I agree. Christy says ham roast. I know it's uncured. Okay, so she doesn't know ham roast either, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think she never heard of it till recently, and she's just uncured.
So Rick's gonna make his heart attack burger once he gets the ingredients and put it on video. That's gonna be a great video to watch.
Make sure you put that in the thumbnail, Rick, so I can make sure I watch it. Put something about that in the thumbnail to catch my eye.
So Thomas is asking you because I mentioned you saw the thumbnail for his video. What did you think of his thumbnail? It's the second time he's used AI for it.
It caught my eye. I was scrolling through a bunch of stuff and I saw it come across there and it caught my eye. You know me, I'm a big fan of AI with the music stuff. And then I made some AI stuff of, I took a picture of myself and I asked AI, what would I look like at 80 years old? I think I may have shown that on here a month ago or so. Some of that stuff's kind of neat. Some of it's scary, but I thought the thumbnail was great, Thomas. And I think you do a great job of your videos. I've told you that before, but keep it up. I just got to take time to watch them. I'm so busy trying to get the house cleaned up, packed up, and ready to sell and working and trying to get this job thing straightened out that I've really neglected watching a lot of videos lately. I'll get back on track. And that, you know, watching the videos helps me stay accountable too, right? It's just a constant reminder that these folks are in the same battle that I'm in and they're winning and I need to join them in that winning battle.
Yeah. So Sandy saw Carrie's video, the one I saw about the 3-year anniversary at Texas Roadhouse. Rick says he wants to see Carrie eat the heart attack burger. Yeah. We got to figure out how to get to him to eat it. He's got to know what's in it, the ingredients, right?
Yeah.
The burger video is on my channel. Is that from when he made it before?
Apparently, he did. I know
Yeah.
he's done the heart attack chicken a bunch, but I have to go back and look for the heart attack burger.
Is Milton in it? Milton's in most of the videos already. Milton is awesome.
The mischievous cat.
Thomas says he's gonna do it again, but he needs to train more.
Eye of the
Eye
tiger.
of the tiger.
Hey, Thomas, go back and play the original "Gonna Fly Now," the original Rocky song. It's called "Gonna Fly Now" from the original Rocky. That's the one you need to play when you do that, when you train for it. Trust me. From the original Rocky.
Yeah. Cynthia says, we butchered a hog. My brother-in-law deep fried the ham roast in his turkey fryer. It was good. I don't know if you have a fryer, though. Okay. Can you make me a heart attack burger? Did you see the challenge I did for the heart attack burger? Aaron won that challenge, and then Gary No Slow came in second. So they did a challenge with Rick's heart attack burger? I did not see this.
We're out of the loop here.
I know. I missed too many videos. I've been too busy with work and stuff, and it's crazy. Peter Lowe's New York strip, more than a ribeye. Oh, so Thomas just used ChatGPT for that, for the AI for his thumbnail. Interesting.
You can download Grok, Grok. Grok. That's Elon Musk thing. I use both of them. I got to where now I like Grok a little bit better. And it's a free, there's a free version, of it, like most of them. So I have both of them on my phone, but I got to where I'm using Grok about every day.
Yeah. All right. I think I might be caught up in comments. And it is 9:30. We've been on for an hour and a half. So we should probably wind it down.
Yeah.
Rick's asking, AI is free. Yes. You can also do a paid premium version of AI, but there's also free AI out there. I think though it's like limited, like you can only ask it so many questions in a 24-hour period or something like that. But I don't think I've ever hit the limit. So I don't know what it is. But yeah.
I talk to Grok every morning. I've asked for help with projects around the house, things I didn't know how to do, and it's been great. And I've not hit the limit yet either. I talk to it a lot. It helped me find jobs that when I redid my resume, I did it through Grok. I didn't hit a single key on the keyboard. Grok did my entire resume, and it's much better than I ever would have done. And then I asked it to go back and refine it, and it just kept doing it. And then it sent it to me in a Word document. I never touched a key on the keyboard, and I got one of the best resume I've ever had. And it cost me zero.
Nice.
Because used to I would pay these resume services, like $15-20, whatever it was, to help you format a resume. I did it on Grok. It was the best one, very clean, to the point. It really pointed out my strengths and stuff like that. And then I went back and refined it a couple times to say, hey, what if we do this? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. And it gave me suggestions, and we did all that. And then it just sent me a Word document. It didn't cost me a dime.
Nice. All right. Well, we're gonna call it a night. We'll be back next Wednesday. It'll be the couple of days before Easter, so maybe we'll have an Easter theme of some sort topic. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining tonight. It's been great topic, great discussion. Hour and a half went really fast. And we'll see y'all next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Bye, y'all. I'll have an update on my health next week. How we're doing.